Today I'm going to review a microphone from Movo called the DoubleMic. It's two mics in one. It's two mics in one. A couple of months ago, I reviewed a microphone by Movo called the VXR10 Pro. Movo VXR10 Pro! And so I was on Amazon the other day and I happened to see an ad for this microphone called the DoubleMic. And I was immediately struck by the idea that it's two microphones in one. So, but I've been asking myself, who is this microphone designed for? It's really a microphone designed for interviewing because you've got a microphone that faces backwards and you've got a microphone facing forwards. And the microphone was the same price as the VXR10 Pro. So is it as good a mic? For the same price, are there any compromises that you make with this microphone? Or is it truly two microphones in one? Rather than starting off in a studio setting, this microphone is meant to be used on the go, so I thought I would come downtown today, Saturday morning early. I brought Finn. Say hi, Finn.
Hello.
And we test it in a challenging environment with street traffic and all those kinds of things here. You can connect your standard camera with it with a TRS connection, or you can connect a phone to it with a TRRS connection. Since this microphone is actually two microphones, it also comes with two dead cat wind filters. However, they are much smaller than the VXR10 Pro's wind filter. Getting this microphone into the Rycote shock mount was just as difficult as when I first used the VXR10 Pro. However, this time I was prepared for it, so it only took me about 30 seconds. However, it still really means that when you put the microphone in the shock mount, you're going to want to leave it there because it is difficult to get in and out, at which point, what do you need a case for? But it does come with a case. The microphone has two switches on it. One is to switch between camera usage and phone usage, and the other one is to switch between the front mic, the rear mic, or a mix of the two. Movo designed this microphone so that the front element is more sensitive than the rear element. And that makes sense because in the way this is going to be used most often, the person holding the camera is going to be closer to the microphone than the person being interviewed. So you want that rear microphone to be less sensitive. However, I think Movo missed an opportunity here because you've got this switch to switch between the two, and when you select both microphones, why not just have the front element go to the left channel and the rear element go to the right channel, and then you could mix the volumes together in post-production and you would have complete control. Now, I think I know why they did that. I think there's probably a cost savings, and I also think that they're aiming this more at consumers who don't have that ability to mix their audio channels, but it's kind of a shame. I would have preferred that from a professional standpoint. I did reach out to Movo and they said they were going to get back to me as to their thinking behind that, but so far I haven't heard from them. So right here I'm using the rear microphone only, and this would be useful if you typically go around filming things and you're providing commentary as you're doing it. Right now we're looking at City Hall. There is traffic driving by, so it'll be interesting to get back to the studio and see how much the traffic noise is rejected when using just the rear microphone. All right, here I'm using the front and rear microphones in the way this microphone was intended, and Finn has graciously agreed to be interviewed today. My mouth is about a foot away from the rear microphone, and Finn's face is about 2.5 feet from the front microphone. Now, Finn, tell me, you drove on the freeway for the first time today. How did that feel?
Great. I'm a freeway driving master.
Were there any problems as you were driving on the freeway?
Not that I noticed.
All right, so what is your motivation for helping me out today?
He's bribing me by getting me Starbucks after this.
And by the way, Starbucks is not sponsoring this video. All right, any last thoughts before we wrap this interview up?
The place where I'm getting interviewed is quite neat. I never knew this existed. There's a giant drop down here, so I don't want to fall down.
That guy insisted that I shoot the back of his head. He's like,
What?
yeah, he's like, do you want a funny picture? I'm like, of you? And then he turned around and he's got this lawnmower on the back of his head. Here's something I noticed right away. When I use this microphone in the setting where it records with both the front microphone and the rear microphone at the same time, and I'm indoors, I notice a little bit of a problem. When I'm speaking into the rear microphone, I hear a lot more room sound, a lot more sort of echo. The microphone doesn't sound as close to me. It's picking up more room sound. Here, let me show you what I mean. Now I'm speaking into the rear element of the microphone, and my mouth is about the same distance from the microphone as it was before. And I have adjusted the volume of this microphone in editing so it balances out and sounds similar. But if you notice, there's a lot more echo, a lot more room sound. It doesn't sound like I'm right up to the microphone, even though I'm just as close. And I think I know what's going on. When I speak into the front element of this microphone, the direct sound goes right into the microphone. But meanwhile, the sound from my voice is echoing all around the room at the same time. And it's bouncing off the walls, and it's bouncing off the opposite wall. And some of that sound bounces back into the rear element of the microphone. Now, that's not so bad because remember, the front element is 12 dB more sensitive than the rear element. So those echoes aren't going to be that noticeable. When I turn the mic around, however, and I'm speaking into the quieter side of the microphone, not only is my voice quieter for the direct sound, the echoes that are bouncing off the wall, they're 12 dB louder. So what that means is those reflected sounds are a lot louder in comparison to the direct sound of my voice. And that's why it makes my voice sound less distinct and more distant from the microphone. I gotta admit, I'm a little disappointed with the performance of this microphone outdoors. It was not a windy day, and yet I was getting all that wind rumble just from moving the camera around. For example, walking. Walking was enough to make it rumble. You would think those dead cat filters would be helping, but they really didn't do a very good job. In fact, when I did those whip pans at the beginning, I could hear rumble just from whipping the camera from side to side. And that makes using it outdoors pretty tricky. I think the problem is these dead cats are just too small. But unfortunately, the way the microphone's designed, you couldn't have bigger dead cats on there because it would cover up the slots or the valves or whatever it is on the side that helps make this a directional microphone. So they're limited with their microphone architecture to small dead cats, but small dead cats don't work very well outside. And that's kind of a deal killer for me. When I bought this microphone, I thought having that rear microphone element would be a nice add-on, but in reality, I would rarely use this. If this microphone can't perform as well as a single element forward-facing mic, then I don't get the point. So who is this microphone designed for then? I gotta say, I'm a little puzzled because on the one hand, it's designed for people who want to interview other people. On the other hand, it's designed for people who don't want to spend a little bit more money and do it the right way with the right equipment. Are there that many casual interviewers out there? I just don't see it. Navigating audio issues such as this can be really tricky, especially if you're just starting out making YouTube videos, because bad audio can ruin a good video. So if you're concerned at all about the audio in your videos, I've made a video just for you. Check this out. This will give you 8 tips to instantly improve the audio in your videos. Click on that video and I'll see you on the other side.